Welcome to The Explainer. You know, sometimes you see a resume and it just stops you in your tracks. Well, today we're unpacking one of those. It's an incredible story that weaves through medicine, the military, and diplomacy, all within a single lifetime.
So you might know her as an ambassador, right? A diplomat representing her culture on the world stage as the Edo State Culture Ambassador to Asia. Or maybe you know her from the medical world as a highly specialized advanced radiographer working in some of the most prestigious hospitals from London all the way to Abu Dhabi. But here's where it gets really interesting. Get this. This same person is also a decorated war veteran. She actually served in the Royal Air Force during the Iraqi War.
So that's the big question, isn't it? How can one person be all of these things? A healer, a soldier, a diplomat. I mean, how do those seemingly contradictory pieces even fit together in one extraordinary life?
All right, to really get this, we've got to go back, way back to the very beginning. Let's look at the values and the education that really set the stage for her entire journey. Her story really begins with her parents. Her father was known for his integrity, his honesty, and her mother for her incredible hospitality and devotion. You can just see how those core principles, honesty and service, became the bedrock for everything that came next. And check this out, her education wasn't just in one place. We're talking a global pursuit of knowledge. Lagos, New York, London. She wasn't just learning one way of doing things, she was building this unique international toolkit that would serve her for life. Okay, so with that foundation in place, things start to get really unique. Now we're going to see how she built not one, but two parallel paths of service in some of the highest stakes fields imaginable. And this really brings us to the heart of it, doesn't it? How does a top-tier medical specialist, someone literally dedicated to healing people, end up serving in a war zone? It's a huge leap, and frankly, it's a path most people would never even think to take. Now, this slide just lays out the contrast so clearly. On one hand, you have the hyper-precise, sterile environments of these elite medical centers. And on the other, you have the rugged, demanding world of uniformed service, from policing London streets to serving with the Royal Air Force. Two completely different universes. And we need to be clear, her medical career wasn't just, a job. This was a deep, deep dive. We're talking about becoming an expert in CT technology, nuclear medicine, and bone densitometry. She was operating at the absolute peak of her profession. But here's the kicker. While she's excelling in medicine, she's pursuing her military path with just as much focus. So much so that she actually won second prize in the Tri-Service Weapons Handling competition. That just tells you everything about her ability to master completely different skill sets. But it doesn't stop there, because for her, this commitment to service wasn't just about her professional roles. That drive to contribute started expanding into leadership, into taking on bigger and bigger public responsibilities. And you can see this really clear, logical progression in her leadership. It starts at university with student politics, then it grows into community organizing for fellow Nigerians in the UK. And eventually, it expands to managing international protocol across the entire Middle East. It's this beautiful, natural climb. So you can see how this deep-seated drive to serve, which was first honed in medicine and the military, just naturally evolved. The next logical step for her was to move into diplomacy and even spiritual guidance. And that brings us to today, where she holds these formal roles. She's a culture ambassador for her home state in Nigeria, and she's also a chaplain commandant, providing spiritual leadership. It's pretty amazing. So let's just pull back for a second. When you put all of these different pieces on the table, the medical expert, the veteran, the diplomat, the leader, what does the complete picture actually look like? Well, what you see is a life that isn't defined by just one thing. It's this powerful blend of service. Think about it. The precision of the healer, the discipline of the soldier, and the empathy of the diplomat. They all inform one another, creating a legacy that's far greater than the sum of its parts. You know, there's a word for this, a polymath. It's someone who has deep, real expertise across multiple seemingly unrelated fields. And they don't just dabble, they use that combined knowledge to make a unique impact on the world. That's exactly what we're seeing here. And Ambassador Ibe's story leaves us with this one big, provocative thought. What does it truly mean to have a career? Maybe it's not about climbing one single linear ladder. Maybe, just maybe, it's about finding all the different ways you can serve, lead, and contribute to the world.